Hey y'all, we are on day 23 of our Proverbs study, but we are in chapter 19 today. So let's get into it. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. And he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. The foolishness of man perverteth his ways, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Wealth maketh many friends. How many of you know when you got the money coming in, you got a lot of friends? But the poor is separated from his neighbor. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. Verses 6 and 7, I'm going to read in the Amplified Version. I'm going to read verses 6 and 7 in the Amplified Version, and it says, "Many will seek the favor of a generous and noble man, and everyone is a friend to him who gives gifts. All brothers of a poor man hate him. How much more do his friends abandon him? He pursues them with words, but they are gone." Verse 8 back in the King James. "He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. A false witness shall not be unpunished." That's the second time that said that in this chapter. "And he that speaketh lies shall perish." Verse 10 in the Amplified says, "Luxury is not fitting for a fool, much less for a slave to rule over princes." Verse 11 back in King James. "The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression." Basically, somebody with good sense and discretion are slow to anger. And to overlook an offense or a transgression comes with wisdom, and it's honorable. It's an honorable thing to do. Verse 12 back in King James. "The king's wrath is at the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping." I'm going to read that in the Passion Translation. It says, "A rebellious son breaks a father's heart, and a nagging wife can drive you crazy." Women of God, check yourself. Don't be a nagging wife. Verse 14 back in King James. "House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent or wise wife is from the Lord. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keepeth the commandments keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his ways shall die. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again." Verses 18 and 19 in the Amplified says, "Discipline and teach your son while there is hope, and do not indulge your anger or resentment by imposing inappropriate punishment or desire his destruction. A man of great anger will bear the penalty for his quick temper and lack of self-control. For if you rescue him and do not let him learn from the consequences of his actions, you will only have to rescue him over and over again." When I read this verse, I think about, sometimes, and as a parent, I can't imagine having to do this, but sometimes you have to let people learn from their own mistakes. And sometimes when you step in to help, you're not doing any good, you're enabling. You are enabling. I know we've seen that, probably everybody has seen that in their family or in some situation in their life. Somebody has good intentions and they're trying to help somebody, but they're actually enabling the bad behavior. Verse 20 back in King James. "Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that has it shall abide satisfied, and he shall not be visited with evil." Hallelujah. Verse 24 and 25 in Amplified says, "The lazy man buries his hand in the food dish, but will not even bring it to his mouth again. Strike a scoffer for refusing to learn, and the naive may be warned and become prudent or wise. Reprimand one who has understanding and a teachable spirit, and he will gain knowledge and insight." We talked a little while ago about having a teachable spirit. 26 back in King James. He that wasteth his father and chasteth away his mother is a son that causes shame and bringeth reproach. Cease, my son, to hear instruction that causeth you to err from the words of knowledge. An ungodly witness scorneth judgment, and the mouth of the wicked devoureth iniquity. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the back of fools. I don't know why I was doing this with my hands, sorry. That was chapter 19. I will see you next time for chapter 20.